Hey, beautiful people. What's going on? What's going on? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I am your girl, Coach Tashawn. You're a marriage communication coach. Listen, I'm sitting here at the park. I decided to kind of take a breather today, right? Take a breather. As you know, I'm like working. I sub. And I'm still, I still do the coaching, and so my mind is always constantly racing and just always doing something, right? So I decided to come to the park and just breathe, give it fresh air, sit in front of this lake. But I came to the park where me and Handsome Honey got married in 2017, right? 2017. Next month will be our 8-year anniversary. 8 years, and we took, all right, see that right there at the gazebo. We had an intimate wedding, no more than probably 50 people at the wedding. I was intentional about remarried this time, when I remarried, about guests and friends and family who was going to be there. And of course, that was our parents were there, and so it was a beautiful wedding. I didn't have the bridal party. I didn't want to do that because I had events throughout the year of our engagement that included friends and like the girlfriends. So instead of me having a wedding party, I had events throughout the year. And so I'm sitting here at the park where we got married, the gazebo right there. And I came back today. God led me back here today, and I was thinking about after we got married, as a hey sis, hey, how you doing, Mrs. Fields? I was thinking, how my life has changed when I got married, right? And you all know, if you've been following me, you know me. My mother died 3 weeks after we got married, right? Sitting right here, she was sitting at that bench with my mother-in-law, and they was chopping it up and so forth. And so 3 weeks after we got married, she passed. And so my life changed, our marriage changed, right? And I was thinking about how, my motto is, just because you have a little bump in the road, your marriage is not over. When you have a bump in the road with your communication, your marriage is not over. And I remember I didn't communicate with my husband. I communicated through emojis and memes. I communicated like that with people. Believe it or not, I didn't talk. I went silent. I only functioned. I communicated because I had to, like with work and with people that I interacted. But when I got home, I was quiet. There was nothing. And my husband would talk, he says it all the time. He was like, you won't say anything, right? And I remember when I went to therapy, grief counseling, and I forgot what the question was, but I simply told her, I said, I don't have nothing to say. And she said, that's understandable and it's okay. And I said, really? Like, this is okay that I don't have nothing to say? Like, I can't talk. Literally, physically, mentally, I couldn't talk, right? I just didn't have anything to say. Again, I was forcing myself to talk to people and to, have conversation at work or whatnot. But I thought about that over time. It's 8 years now, right? And last year, 2023, this month is my 3rd year anniversary of walking in full-time, taking that leap of faith, leaving teaching, and pursuing coaching full-time, right? And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, God, communication coaching, really? You want me to do that? And so when I went into prayer about it, I went into prayer because everything I do, thank you, sis. Yeah, it is so beautiful. And it was June. It was hot, but it wasn't hot, but it was a nice summer day. So when I thought about, like, over time and how I prayed on it, I said, God, I'm like, I don't know. And so one of my mentors, someone I could talk to about that can give me that sound advice, right? And she's like, that's what God wants you to do because you have the experience. And it's funny because like 3 or 4 people told me the same thing, right? But it wasn't until it was very clear, and when I went to the One Experience retreat, where I had a chance to just really sit and just like, God, dear God, it was a dear God week, right? And I was just like, God, okay, I know how to communicate and whatnot, but I'm like, I'm just getting out, like I said, 2023. When I left teaching, that's when I was like, okay, God, I'm done. I'm tired of grieving. I want to move forward in with everything. I don't want to keep grieving. My parents are not coming back. And so God gave me a gift and I have to move forward with that. So coaching is about moving forward. And I just remember praying and I said, God, just help me to get through it. So when I stepped out in faith from teaching, full-time coach, entrepreneurship, and I was just thinking, I was like, God, communication coaching, right? I'm like, but Lord, I didn't talk. I wasn't talking in these past 7 years. And so one of my mentors, and I had been praying on it, and she was like, well, that's what God wants you to do, because again, you understand what it is in marriages when things happen. Because again, just because you have a bump in the road with communication does not mean that your marriage is over. Things happen, and a lot of times we don't know how to talk about that. We don't know how to talk about it with our spouse because we don't. Sometimes we're afraid. Sometimes we don't know how. And I thought about that. I said, you know what? You're right, because I didn't talk. I responded in memes and emojis. I didn't talk because I didn't have anything to say. And my grief counselor was like, that's okay. It's okay. And I was like, are you sure? Because I don't have anything to say. But, it all started coming to, and again, I had to own that. I had to release it, and you have to be determined to move forward. And that was my motto. I'm moving forward. Yes, I'm still grieving, but grief, I'm not going to allow it to take over anymore, right? So, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. So, so I'm sitting here at the park where we got married, the gazebo right there, next month, 8 years. And I'm just like thanking God, thanking God that we, that again, it's like, okay, God, you gave me this gift and we move forward. And that's when I tell people, your marriage is not over with. Your marriage is not over with. Like, we just have to get to a place of understanding our spouses, and we have to understand what marriage is, and we have to really go back to those vows. And I'm sitting here at the gazebo, and I was like, I remember taking the vows, right? And again, we made our own, we create our own vows, but it was still, biblical or whatnot. And I was just like, wow, sometimes your marriage, you need to revisit those vows. Yes, you've been married 7 years plus, but sometimes you need to go back and think about these vows and what your spouse means to you. Don't give up on your marriage, y'all. I'm watching people celebrate 20, 15, 30 years. My Oh, there's a red bird, y'all. Okay. They said your loved ones are here with a red bird sitting right here. So, you know, just don't give up. You utilize your resources. You know, everybody goes through those trials and tribulations, and the key word is going through them, right? You don't stay stuck. You don't want to stay stuck. Now, some people choose to stay stuck. I can't help those people. I'm about moving forward, and so you have to make the effort. You have to make the decision to move forward. I could choose to stay stuck and do the woe is me, my mama gone, my daddy gone, my grandparents gone, my aunts. I could do that and not walk in the full potential of what God has for me, right? But I chose not to, because I know what God said. I know what God is doing, and I know that there is a plan and purpose for me, right? So, you know, just sitting here at the park as I get ready to celebrate 8 years next month. And it's like that whole, usually these months, just like the Mother's Day, then the anniversary, and then the anniversary of her death. Usually it has me in a not so good place, but that's why I have an action plan in place. The memories come, but I have an action plan in place so that I won't go back, you know, like that. But I want to encourage people to move forward, especially in your marriages. Move forward. You're gonna have some issues, and again, that's going through them, right? You're going through the trials and tribulations, but your marriage is not over, and you're growing. All the couples I know that are celebrating moments and years and all that, they are. I told y'all the story of the lady young lady who's been married, her and her husband been married 49 years, and she gave me that sound advice. She was like, honey, that's your baby. And you know, and I look at couples, like I look at my aunts and uncles who are still married, you know, 50 years, and look at my friends and family. Like I said, got a celebration this weekend. They've been married 23 years, and they went through a lot of trial and tribulation. Just, you know, but you go through those things, and you don't give up, and you just remember the, as I stated the other day for Marriage Monday, the end goal. What is your end goal? It's peace. You're bridging that communication gap because you want peace. You ain't in competition with anybody. You're not, you know, trying to compare or any of that. That's your babe, that's your boo, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, like, God is like, move forward. Move forward. And that's what I was determined to do, move forward. Every day I wake up, I am determined to move forward. Not stay stuck, not, you know, the memories are there, y'all. Some days, this past Mother's Day, it was different. It hit me a little different. And I was like, I was just not in that mood. However, I got up and I'm like, okay. And as our anniversary, we get closer to my anniversary, you know, I'm just like, all right, 8 years, right? Moving forward, move forward. So as your coach, that's what I specialize in, moving forward. We're not doing the backwards thing. We're not doing the woe is me. Things happen. Life happens. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You celebrate. You celebrate those moments of triumph, victories. And you also reflect on, you know, the things that the trials and tribulations. Like, you know what? We made it. I told Handsome Honey, I said, babe, I said, we making it. I said, we made it. We made it through your you know, the injuries. We made it through the deaths. We gotta keep going. Bottom line, gotta keep going, right? So just sitting here at the park, I love God's nature. I just love his creations and so forth. But yep, that's where I got married. We got married. He got stuck in the recreation center, in the bathroom. But he wasn't too late to the wedding or whatnot. but he got stuck in the bathroom as he was changing his clothes, and he didn't have his phone on. It was just funny that day. But yep, that's where I got married. It was so pretty, and we said I do right there on the gazebo, right there. 8 years. So I'm just thanking God for the 8 years. I'm thanking God for the lessons that we've learned and still learning. I'm thanking God for the direction he has me going in as your marriage communication coach. Because one thing I want people to understand, I'm authentic. I'm real about what I do. It ain't nothing phony. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend with you. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I tell it in a nice way. I'm gonna tell you in the nicest way, but I'm not going to. I want you to understand that I understand. I understand marriage. You know, I'm not just on this journey as a coach just to be the fluff, because coaching for me is it's a serious matter. I'm not trying to be your famous coach or nothing like that, because again, I want your marriage to keep thriving. It's thriving, right? I just want you to thrive even more, because marriage is beautiful. It's beautiful, y'all. I love being married. I love relationships. I love it, and so forth. So just wanted to pop in on this beautiful day. You know, came back over to the park where we got married, about to celebrate 8 years. I don't know what we're gonna do for our anniversary. We both entrepreneurs, so you know, we gotta find something creative. But I don't know. But I do want y'all to connect with me. The link is posted for the fireside chat. This month we're doing a sip and share this Saturday, May 17th at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're gonna talk about those things. I just talked to a couple who's been married. They're married 25 years coming up, and she was just like, "Girl, I got I got stuff to tell you." She said, "Me and my baby, well, that's 25 years." Then another couple registered they've been married, or I think 35 years. So people, on this community, TLC community, that's what I want. That's what I'm building, this TLC community, where positive people can come together, talk about marriage, and just be in that safe space and just have fun with it, right? Because marriage is beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So thank y'all so much for supporting. Make sure you register for the Fireside Chat. It is free. It's free. This Saturday, May 17th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think I'm going to come out to the park a little bit more often. I need to get my vitamin D, my natural vitamin D, right? I need to get that, and then I need to just be out from behind the desk, you know, inside. And it's nice, and I'm under the tree, so it's nice temperature and whatnot. All right, so yeah, the gazebo. Yep, 8 years, y'all. 8 years. Your marriage communication coach. It's been a journey, but I am loving every minute of it. I am loving every minute of it. All right. So I will check in with, yes, we do, sis, we do. I'll check in with you all soon, but go ahead and register for the Fireside Chat and connect with me. I am TrinetteLCollier.com, and let's do this. Your marriage is not over. Marriage is not dead. Marriage is thriving. People are celebrating years with each other. They're celebrating. Yeah, they're celebrating. I am not lying to you. Connect with, y'all need to go ahead and connect with some married folks. You need to have some married folks in your circle. Get with some married folks in your circle. Some positive, healthy married folks, right? That makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. Okay. So stay connected. I have some upcoming events. June 13th, that is coming up soon. TLC Vision Board experience. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. That registration will be opening soon. All right. So, yep, I'm about to head on back to the home office, but I needed to get some fresh air, and so head home back to the home office and get to work. And I might just go to sleep and maybe take me a nap. This was really refreshing. It's refreshing. The gazebo, it was so pretty too. It was so pretty. I love my wedding. I did. I love my wedding. I wouldn't have changed anything. The reception, we had a 3-day, celebration where we were able to celebrate with our friends and family, and then our family for brunch, stuff like that. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun. No regrets, of course, the aftermath, but it's still beautiful. 8 years. So I'm thanking God for that. And the marriage is not over. Okay? Bridging that communication gap. I am your marriage communication coach. All right? So until probably tomorrow, Saturday, I'll see y'all. I love you. Peace.